without wasting any more time, I would welcome Samiksha to take it from here. So Samiksha is the co-founder of Samshek, which is the AI-based fashion tech company. I would request Samiksha to please take it forward, and I really apologize for keeping you on wait.
No worries, Sachin. Thank you, first of all, for giving this opportunity to discuss with the students, where we can just tell them that how the industry actually is. In the college, it's very different, but in real, it's very different. So it's a great opportunity to share the experience with the students. Thank you. Not a problem. Yeah. Okay. So I will quickly give a brief of myself, what we do, and then we'll just have a little bit of an overlook of what the sustainable future is of fashion, and then we'll just take you through what we are doing right now. Will that be okay?
Yes, perfectly fine.
Okay, great. So hi everyone, this is Samiksha Bajaj, co-founder of Samshek. We basically into our tech fashion startup, which talks about technology and trying to change the way companies work in the fashion. So now we're talking about reshaping the future of fashion with more sustainability into it. Everybody's talking about sustainability. It's like from past, I think, 2 decades, this industry has been started talking about sustainable fashion. Now, what exactly sustainability is, like what exactly we are talking about sustainable. Sustainability starts from design, it starts from material that we use, it starts from people who are making it, people who are consuming fashion. So all those elements together, it makes sustainable fashion that we're talking right now. Before COVID, everybody started because there were huge concerns about sustainability in fashion because it is one of the most, I think, the second top industry which is polluting the environment globally after oil and petrol. But we never took it that seriously that it is actually going to harm our environment in coming future and can be a problem for upcoming generations, let's say next 50 years. So I think this COVID actually pulled off to make people realize that actually we have to move forward and talk about sustainability. Not only talk about sustainability, but actually incorporate the systems which makes fashion more sustainable. And sustainability cannot come only with the existing systems. We have to add technology into fashion. Fashion is it's an industry where technology is being ignored. Like it is at a very nascent stage where people have started talking about technology, started incorporating technology into the system. So after this COVID, what happened? A lot of people, a lot of fashion companies, fashion brands, they've gone bankrupt. They have to close their retail stores. It is one of the industry which has been influenced by fashion, affected by COVID-19. Why it affected? Because fashion works on a seasonal chain. It works on inventory. All the brands, they make new inventory as per the upcoming season. Now, for example, COVID happened in March. Everybody was prepared to launch their spring-summer collection, which has been prepared in December or in November. And all the inventories has been gone to the store by end of February to get live by March. Suddenly this thing happened, and inventories, like people who are having 100 stores or people are having 200 stores, that much of huge inventory is being piled up. Now, until unless that stock is not moved, they cannot come in with a new design, a new collection. Due to COVID, a lot of brands, they've gone like, what to be done next? Because nobody was aware that when this pandemic is going to get finished. Because of the rentals of retail and stockpiling and everything, starting from manufacturing units to end brands, everybody was like, okay, we don't know what to do next. And a lot of fashion brands got closed. I mean, in US, we talk about big brands like JCPenney or Macy's. They are in a very troublesome condition right now that okay, pandemic has been started, retailers, people are not there in the market, they cannot move their stock and it's being piled up, they don't know what to do next. So it was like, okay, this is such a big problem because we, at the end of the day, we all are dependent on inventory in fashion industry. This fast fashion, again, new inventories every 10 days or 15 days. So on the whole, it is all piling up everywhere. A lot of companies, a lot of fashion brands, they had to close the store. It was yesterday's news only that UK High Street is one of most troublesome position. And Debenham, one of the biggest retail chain in UK, they are closing around 140 stores during this Christmas, which is one of the oldest brand, one of the oldest companies, around 250 years old. Now, pandemic happened. Okay, this inventory issue was huge. Luxury fashion got badly affected. But this, on a positive side, this gave an advantage for technology, for brands or for companies to understand that we don't have to just move on fast fashion or inventory. We have to incorporate technology to make it more sustainable. So I think for fashion industry, COVID is like bad in some stage, but has proven that the technology has to be incorporated in fashion now to make it more sustainable. So this indirectly affects how the inventory, how the design collection has to be produced. Shall we produce 6 months before, 2 months before, or just 10 days before? Or we have to move towards mass customization. A lot of people are coming into custom made that will do a just-in-time production kind of a concept. A lot of people are coming up with the virtual collections, virtual fashion shows. So all this thing started taking on with the technology part. Now, this is how, for us, before COVID itself, it's been 5 years that we have started this concept of introducing technology into this company, Samshek. That why not to get rid of inventory? That is a major issue with the whole thing, because to produce more inventory, more fast fashion, companies squeeze the cost of producing goods. At the end of the day, once the costs are being reduced, that is going to affect the labor. That's going to affect the wages of people who are producing it. So we are underpaying them to at least maintain our margins. Company, like, they have other expenses to maintain the margins. So somewhere we are creating an unethical culture or unsustainable culture in fashion just to meet the demand of customers. But on the other hand, customers don't know what's happening at the back end, what's happening in the fashion, what's happening in the manufacturing units. That to give you good collection or fast fashion collection, they are squeezing at the back end, which is affecting their families. All unethical behavior is taking place, which is making fashion unsustainable future. So this is how technology is like more acceptable, more scalable, and a good solution to make fashion sustainable in all other aspects. So how Samshek came into picture was, we thought inventory is the biggest problem. Let's get rid of it, come to a GIT solution. I'll quickly share a presentation which will just help you to understand where I'm coming from. Okay. I hope the screen is visible. Okay. So this is a quick, the behind the scenes that how fashion works. So normally 80 billion clothing is produced every year. 80 billion clothing is produced every year. We are producing this much of inventory, this much of clothing every year. Out of which 10.5 million goes to landfills. 63.6% of the whole this thing goes like it is unsold inventory, for example. Why this is left? Because 63.6% of women, they don't get their sizes. They don't fit into standard sizing. We go into a shopping store, we look for the garments, and we think, okay, this is suiting us very well, but somewhere the sleeves are not nice. It's not going with our body shape. It's not going with our body size or body, I would say, body image. 63.6% women, they don't fit into those things and they leave the garment. Because of it, 30% of the inventory is unsold globally. For example, all the brands like Zara, they are left with 10% inventory. Benton, they left with 30% inventory. Online, we have 40% of returns. Somewhere we end up 30 million tons of textile waste globally, which is go into landfills. And 92 million of tons is of the clothing that is just goes waste, which is neither sold during your sales season or is just left as an inventory. Now, where this inventory is going, we have never thought of. These are made of polyesters, made of cotton. Not all cotton is biodegradable, not polyester is biodegradable. So it moves, we have a lot of landfills which are increasing every day, and this whole waste goes there. Now, further, that landfill is increasing every day, and we are not actually biodegrading it, and it's very harmful for the environment. But on the front, as a consumer, we don't see this. It is only the people who are doing it at the back end, the brands and the companies, they can see how harmful it is. What solution we came up? Okay, why not we should produce that much which is required by the customer? Why not to do just-in-time production? Like we have companies like who do bespoke, but they take good long time. They manufacture each and single garment for individual size. They take manual measurements, which is not a scalable model. You cannot scale that whole system to a global level. So what we replaced, all the I would say all the each step in the whole industry we replaced by technology. So let's say a woman comes to the store, she's online, she can scan her body through 3D body scanner, which gives 110 measurements in 5 seconds, and we get all the measurements of the body. Automatically it goes to the back end, and once the customer has chosen the garment. Sorry, right now I'm just explaining, just to make it more clear, I'm explaining on behalf of the customer perspective first. So customer comes to the store, they can look for basic size. If they don't get it, very less inventory. If they don't get it, they can go on a screen, they can customize the whole garment. Like let's say if they are seeing the outfit in red color, they can change the color, they can change the neckline, they can change everything on the screen the way you are seeing here on the digital inventory. They can change everything. And whatever they're liking, they just choose that option and then go to a 3D body scanner where they can give their measurements. So we don't produce on standard sizing, we produce on their individual measurements. 3D body scanner is kind of a technology which scans your body, and it takes 5 seconds to give 110 measurements. Then this digital inventory, this body scanning, and customer gets the garment in 5 working days or 48 hours as a prime delivery from the store. But it takes 5 business days for online orders. Now, these two things make customers more convenient, that they don't come into this standard of 63.6% because they are getting what size they want, they're getting the design what they want. From the front end, customer is happy because they're getting what they are looking forward for. From manufacturing perspective, once the order is placed, it goes at the back end, which is the digital factory where all the pattern and everything is made automatically through CAD software. And then we produce it. In this scenario, we are not keeping all the garments pre-made beforehand. We just keep the fabric and the digital inventory in the store through screen and just the patterns that we have. After doing this, we are not left with even a single garment. Once they place an order, it goes at the back end and digitally it's being done and then produced on the machines. And second day, it is being shipped so that customer get their delivery on time. So on the whole, we are doing JIT model, which is just-in-time production. Like this, we are not producing garments and there is no waste of clothing. Definitely, fabric stays with us. We keep inventory of fabric and trims, but that can be used anytime. It's not going to go bad. Let's say after 2 years also, you can just redesign the clothing and use the fabrics in a different way. So the whole system of this mass customization, it becomes more sustainable because of the technology. We can only scale if we have 3D body scanners, if we are doing digital inventory. Because if we start keeping masters or tailors everywhere, there will be consistency will not be there. So instead of doing customization, this technology helps us to do a mass customization. When customer is getting what they want, instead of waiting for 15 days, they're getting a quick delivery between 48 hours to 5 business days. Who we are, basically, we are trying to do, we are trying to make it more sustainable with using more technology, less of human resource, and looking as a forefront of sustainability technology and fashion industry by offering mass customization in clothing and accessories. Mission that we share is we are looking forward for customer satisfaction by providing them best services in terms of quality, price, personalization, fitting, and on-time deliveries. So this will be our like short-term thing where we are just trying each and every step to make it more perfect and customer gets what they want. The way we do customization is this is a real style. A customer can customize into these things, like they can add on with the round neck, they have a bow, they can add on sleeves, they can see back neckline, they can change the colors. So this whole customization is done digitally on the screen. This is not produced, only this is produced. So basically we have one style with another 1500 combinations which are digitally made. This help us to have a digital inventory. We are not piling up with our stock. And the age group that we target is 30 years. Price range is very affordable. It's not like you are spending tons of money to get a custom made. So on the whole, we are bridging the gap between customization and bespoke. Customization and ready to wear, where this mass customization comes into picture and resolves the issue of ready to wear, of keeping inventory, and custom made clothing, giving a quick delivery where you can just get your own choice, but you don't have to wait for another 15 days. This is one of the customer experiences that you can see even on Google as well, that how people are accepting the technology and how they are trying to see, okay, how we can experience new thing with Samshek. Some of the popular styles that we have. Packaging, though it doesn't relate with the custom made, this sustainability, but yeah, as a branding, you need good packaging. Coming on to this, how scalable is this model? So without technology, without automation, we cannot scale it. On the whole, as a mass customization, this digital front end and digital back end help us to make this model more sustainable. You can come up with 100 stores at the same time without investing more of it into inventory, but making it more digital and tech based. On the whole, the sustainable advantage of this whole model is we are doing zero waste. We are creating digital inventory. We are not polluting the environment by keeping stock, by keeping inventory, or producing a lot of inventory. This is like actually a clear way to move ahead in terms of sustainability in fashion. In this, there is another competitive advantages that we see as technology incorporation into the whole system. That normally the brands, they have sizes from extra small to double XL. Now, in extra small to double XL, they have to keep 6 sizes, they have to keep different colors, they have to build up the stock. If they move towards 9XL, which is a huge market, extra double XL to 9XL is a huge market, but people doesn't get it because brands cannot take a risk of piling up another stock for those sizes and keeping those many colors and those many sizes into it. So for us, it's an advantage because we can make it to 12XL as well. And we did for a few US clients whose sizes are even more than 9XL. That was a niche market, but definitely there's a huge market. This whole system not only helps to cater to certain market, but you can capture petite size or extra large sizes or even middle of the market. So capturing the whole market share with this offering of custom made clothing with a quick delivery. Yeah, definitely there are people who want it on the spot. Let's say some women, she has a party tomorrow. She cannot wait for even a single day. So that marketing is not being captured, but market which is around it of different sizes is like a huge market which can only be captured once you get into technology. We're present on Samshek, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn. So I can share this presentation after this thing. You can just check how body scanner works. So this technology, how it makes more sustainable. That you don't have to hire masters or tailors everywhere. In that, we lose consistency also. But if you put a technology, irrespective of whatever it is, wherever it is going to take the same measurements. So consistency part can be sorted out by using technology. And there is no dependency, okay, sometimes we lose on our manpower, but technology is not going to run anywhere. So what is like the best thing of this thing? You are more dependent on technology, less on human resources. So this is how an avatar comes into picture once the measurements have been taken and all the measurements are being seen here. We got a lot of media coverages in ET, then Fiber to Fashion, we want to cover in terms of technology and the concept that we are doing. We got covered by New Indian, then LBB, what's out the name. So these were some of the achievements that we got recently in last February. We got awarded in Sustainable Innovation Retail Technology in Mumbai by Asia Africa, which is Regional Shopping Center. Then we got covered by Your Story. We got covered by Images Retail Innovation 2019, where we talked about robotic machinery, which is again in fashion industry. There's a very thin line where you are beating with the price and you are serving your manpower. Either you squeeze yourself or squeeze your manpower to sustain the company. But what if we come with robotic technology? What if we come with robotic sewing machine? Then you are not ethically harming them also, but you are more dependent on the tech part, which makes fashion more sustainable. I think last 2 years back, there was a big case on Zara. One of American editor got covered that Zara is using sweatshops where they are paying 1/4 of the daily wages and getting their work done for long 12 to 14 hours. As a human being, if you see on a company ethics, if you see this is completely unsustainable. But what they can do, I mean, they have to beat the competition. All the customers, they want more and more fast fashion. Today it is red, then they need black. So what company has to do? Either they have to serve their client or they have to serve themselves. So at the end of the day, sustainability cannot only be opted by companies. It has to be served both ways. Customers should also understand. They should also stop. Looking forward for fast fashion. So on the whole, sustainability is a responsibility of a company and a customer. If you go as a customer, let's not buy clothes every time. Let's repeat our collection again and again. Because if we ask for fast fashion, then they will reduce to meet the customer requirements. So technology is one of the biggest solution to make this industry more ethical, more sustainable, and use of ethical practices can be made. So we do a lot of collaborations with influencers, celebrities, and actresses. This is one of with the Deepshik Hanakpal, the Nisha Rawal, Ivanova. I think now the followers has been gone up by 5 million of Ivanova. This is a core team that we have on board. Yeah. I think this was a brief, very quick and brief about how technology and a live example of making fashion more sustainable. If you're looking forward for coming up with any startup or anything, thinking on those lines, that how supply chain should work, how we can use technology to make it more scalable, make it more sustainable, make it more ethical, and how we can come up with the solutions where we should not harm the environment and make our fashion brand more sustainable. If anybody's looking forward to come into this industry and making a career out of it and coming up with some exciting brand. Now there are a lot of other things which can be linked to it, that even fabrics should be made sustainable. Like there was a recent example, Q-Milk, which is started by one of the companies. They are making silk by one of the first milk which is being taken by the calf. So that those first milk is being used and reprocessed to make the fiber. And through that fiber, they are making the silk, which is being used for clothing to and home furnishing. So we have to innovate ourselves. We have to be creative in different angles to make fashion more sustainable. And it's not only about getting PR out into the market, but we should think as a social responsibility from our end as a company owners or as a consumers to reshape the whole industry and make it more sustainable. I think I would like to have more, if anybody is okay with the questions or anything, we're happy to do that.
An amazing presentation. Seriously, I'm always fascinated with the kind of work Samshek is doing. I hope you remember the first meeting we had at your office, where I was actually awestruck with the kind of, especially that video you showed me, the kind of stuff Samshek is doing, how they're using all sorts of inventory issues. And the best part is that it's all custom made. So I'm actually waiting for a men's brand of Samshek to come over, and then especially because I face the same issue, I buy any of the shirts, but at one or two wash after, any shirt, be it a branded one or a common one, the sleeves get shrinked up. So which is where I'm actually looking for some solution that somebody could help me with that. So yes, I'm looking forward for a menswear Samshek, either a division or another Samshek by you.
Sure.
Great. So guys, I hope you have seen the kind of overall module that Samshek is focused on in terms of sustainability. Many organizations talk about sustainable fashion, sustainable textiling and all, but hardly I could see a few working on it. And Samshek being one of them, AI-powered, technology-powered startup, I'm sure you all would be fascinated with the kind of work they do if you get a little more chance to know about the company, either by visiting their offices or understanding how exactly things are happening, maybe at their stores. So keeping that for the future, I hope and keep our fingers crossed that the stores open up shortly. I request all, in fact, I would request Ms. Pragya also. She's the faculty in charge here, and I missed introducing her. Pragya, could you please switch on your camera so that
Hi.
you can see?
Hi, Samiksha. Hi. I missed some of the session because I was in another meeting, but
I got that.
Yeah, but the moment the day Sachin spoke about Samshek, I googled and I found out, and I was also really fascinated that actually, because you always keep on thinking, is there some brand or somewhere where I can get something customized in a short period of time? And actually, there's nobody who is doing that right now. So I was really, really fascinated by the whole idea. And the way you spoke about digital inventory model and the zero waste model, I think that was something new that I learned today. So yeah, it was very nice.
Yeah, if you see, today is the day of sustainability and technology and innovation. Both of our IDTs today, one with Samiksha and the other one, another lady, is all talking about innovation. And the meeting both of us just had before Samiksha's interaction was also somewhere related to sustainability. So I think this is a very big and a very strong issue that every fashion enthusiast must be focused on, especially the upcoming generation. So I keep the forum on for all the students to have their questions, their doubts, their inquiries.
Sure.
Anyone can write their questions either on the chat box or in the Q&A section. Okay, I have a question here. Chahat Khanna asks, so like we know slow in today's times straight away translates into elevated costs. It's most it almost like constant. I'm sorry, I can't.
Instant couture, yeah.
Instant couture. Where do you think you stand in the market with the cost involved, and how do you control the added costs for this kind of wait for you approach?
That's an amazing question, and I think this is the first perception when we talk about made to order. So when I was giving a presentation, I specifically focused that this whole mass customization, made for you is a good line, but mass customization is a gap, is a bridging gap, which is between bespoke and ready to wear. In our case, let's say made for you, it exactly say made for you, but we are smart enough. We are not actually making for you. We are just having patterns ready with us. Once you give your measurements, we just little bit like tweak into it and make it as per your fit. Now in this course, in made to order, what happens? Let's say, in an easy language, I would say, we go to a designer. We tell them we are looking particularly, let's say we're talking about ethnic wear. We tell them we are looking for this wedding. So what he's going to do is make everything new for you. Because for wedding wear or for any ethnic wear, might be styles are similar, not same, but he's going to make a new pattern. He's going to make, a complete design as per what you are looking forward for. So that cost goes very huge because you are just making for one item, one time. In our case, we smartly did, we just make patterns, we make digital inventory. Those patterns are ready to go. But once you give your measurements, we have certain base with us. We are not creating fresh for you. We have a certain base which we use to make the pattern. In that ways, because we are not producing inventory, we are reducing our cost. For example, let's say if a person wants to make a sale of 30 lakhs, at least they have to have a cost of at least inventory stock of 90 lakhs. So 60 lakhs they have to keep extra to make a sale of 30 lakhs. Now, in our case, we are just making fabric. We're just keeping that patterns that we are having. But we say we made for you. We just like tweak that pattern and make one single piece. Are you getting my point? So the cost is not elevated because we're using same that pattern for the next garment also. Using same that pattern for another 100 garments. But we're just tweaking with the size a little bit. Keeping the style same or tweaking the design also as per you. If you want a different neckline, we're just tweaking the design. We're not making everything from fresh. So that's how we are. We can only do with the help of technology. That's how we call ourselves a mass customization, not a bespoke or made to order brand. So in that way, cost is very minuscule as compared to bespoke or made to order. I hope Chahat, it was like I explained you well.
I believe you certainly did. There's another question from Chahat only. Is the customer able to visualize how the finished garment is going to look like and look on them? Or do you have some sample of these designs?
Lovely. So when we were talking about the customization slide, when we talk about customization, so you actually see how it looks like on a model. Now these are two different streams. So what you're saying, look on them, that is a trial room, which is a physical trial room. When we go in the store, we try that outfit and see on ourselves. Now we are in the process of creating a virtual trial room. So what you see online, first you custom made and see how it looks. And then there will be a virtual trial room, which gives the photo on your body and how it looks on yourself. So these are two completely different departments of fashion, which we are trying to figuring out, but definitely at present you can see whatever customizations you have done, you can see on the screen that how it looks like. So for example, if there's a black dress with a round neck, you can make into V-neck and increase the length to calf length and see how it looks like on a model, not on yourself. So you can go on our website and you can do the customization bit and you can see how it looks like.
In fact, Chahat, you must go on their website. It really looks awesome.
Thank you.
Guys, any more question about sustainability, about the tech innovation, what the Samshek has done? Pragya, would you have some questions related to that?
Yeah, I think I'm more curious about the tech part, which she spoke about briefly in the presentation. I think if you could elaborate a bit more on that, that would be nice.
So what technology, you're looking to know about it? Because there are different stages, and everything we are trying to do is automation, starting from customer perspective to back-end factory. So what tech, what do you want to understand?
So when you start with the body visualizer, and then you work on the garment, so that stage.
Okay. So first, let's talk about first from the customer perspective. So customers goes, let's say if you go into any store, which is your favorite brand where you shop from?
I shop from Anoki.
Anoki, lovely. Let's say you go to Anoki and you see they have some fabrics also, if I'm not wrong, and then they have some styles ready. So what do? You pick up all the styles, what you like, go to a trial room and see the fitting on top of it as per your size that you want. Some styles you like it, but some styles you leave it. Why you leave it? Because you feel like the fitting is not right. Okay, neckline is not correct, or your sleeves are long, or your length is long. So you have to leave it because you cannot do alteration to that extent. So when you come to Samshek store or Samshek website, what you do is you get into the store, you browse around, you pick up any top, and if you think, okay, this top I'm liking it, but I need to do minor changes. Then the stylist there will take you to the screen and they'll show you all the combinations. Okay, if your body is tall, if you're tall, your torso is tall, you can just change the neckline. They'll show you the neckline. Then you choose sleeve design, whatever you want. You just play around. It's like a game. You play around with the elements. Once you do that, then they say, okay, do you fit an extra small, medium, large, or the size that we're given? So you say, no, I don't fit. I fit between small to medium. So then they'll take you to the body scanner. That scanner will scan your body, and those measurements will be automatically come to our system. So then you go to the billing counter, you bill your garment, make the payment, but at the back end, everything goes into process. So once the bill is made, automatically the orders go to the factory. So they keep a special instructions. Okay, if you think, okay, I want to change this, they put it there, and automatically it goes to the back end, and that's where the whole process starts.
Okay. So if a customer asks for some specifications which is beyond the services you offer, so they ask for a lot of customization, what do you do in that case?
So, there also we act smart. That we give some elements. Normally what happens, customer don't think that they are a designer, but technically they're not aware of. So just to, shorten that process and to make it quicker, that we give some certain elements which you can customize. Because if you start customizing from top to bottom, it might change the whole design, and at the end of it, it can be a blunder also. It can become beautiful, but as a blunder as well. So let's say, for example, if you do round neck front and you want deep U at the back, it might not be possible. So we don't give that option. We give those options which are possible. So after that also the customer asks for it, that okay, I want these things, then we just say no to it. So whatever elements are available there, which is a good design, which can become a good design, you can only customize those things. And we don't charge extra for it unless the length is increasing too long.
Yeah, I think that's good. Just making them aware. Sometimes they have some ideas in mind, but actually that's not workable in the real sense.
Technically,
technically it's not viable. Yeah. I think we have another question in the chat. Okay, so this is by Meghna. She's asking, while we talk about fast fashion, we as a customer tend to fall easily for what's in the market next, and we feel the need to have it, but at the same time, it is our needs which leads to creating more by designers. So both the parties are somewhat responsible. So how do we reduce it? I think that's a very nice question. Yeah.
Customer tend to fall easily for what's in the market to have it. At the same time, it's our needs which leads to creating more designers. Okay. So we as a customer tend to fall easily for what's in the market next, and we feel the need to have it, but at the same time it is our needs which leads to creating more by designers. That's not easy. See, that's true. That's what when we talk about fast fashion, because the whole concept of fast fashion has been brought in by Zara. And why they started it because to move the inventory quickly and to make people, the newness in the store so that people can come again and again. The frequency of shopping should be increased. But at the same time, I would say that it is both ways. Now, it might make sense or not, but in a lot of international markets, most of the brands, they're coming up with campaigns that if you repeat your clothing 3 times with this was a company outside India, what they have done, you buy from our brand, we'll give you scan code then at the back end of the garment. If you wear that garment for 30 times, we'll give you 50% discount on your next purchase from us. Now, they are making loss for themselves, but they are forcing the customer then to wear that outfit 30 times. You don't come back to store again and again. So to reduce the fast fashion, to increase awareness that fast fashion is not good for the industry. But at the same time, if customers are not supporting the brands, or they are not supporting this phenomena of sustainability, brands, they have to make money at the end of the day. They are going to make new designs. They are going to do fast fashion. So I think it's both ways. Customer also understands and the companies also understands. When we talk about fast fashion, this doesn't come to designers. Let's say if we talk about an Indian culture, Indian designers, they are not doing that fast fashion. They'll make the collection, 4 collections in a year. If you talk about big designers like Manish Malhotra or Sabyasachi or these people, they don't work on 10 collections in a year. If you see about retail brands, they do 10 to 12 collections. Every 10 days, they're coming with the new designs. So it is us who can stop it. Then companies will understand and take a break on it.
Yeah, I think it is both ways. So even if you have that one nice garment, which is, so with the whole customization thing, you have less reasons to discard it very quickly. So, everything is tailored around it. So if you have one nice garment, I don't think you need 3-4 more garments. So it's
exactly. It says that normally in fast fashion, 50% of clothing is being again sent to landfills every time. Because of the fast fashion, Zara is producing every 10 days, they are just changing their collection, at least 50% of it. You cannot sell everything in 10 days if you're changing collection. So 50% of fast fashion clothing goes back to the landfills, which is huge, which is enormous. If you see the environment, where it's going, you can't even think of what damage it can give it to us in our coming generations.
I think we all together need to address this, especially the industry and the institutions, to have more focus on the sustainable part of the garment. In fact, I think we are going on the track because the previous session we had with a gentleman who was working on the same concept, but on the circularity of fashion. Like you take one textile, you use it 10 times and sell it to somebody else and then again use it. So I think that's all is making a lot of sense. And I'm sure these kids going to have a lot of understanding, a lot of exposure in terms of the sustainable part of fashion. So I would request all the students, if they have any more questions, they can write back to us and we will share it with Samiksha, and Samiksha can then answer them individually through the email as well. And in case if any of you would like to connect with her, LinkedIn would be the best option where you can have a connection, understand what the company does, be in touch with them, follow their social media to know more about the company. And in case if you would like to get involved with the company for a project or so, then definitely we are more than happy to take you through.
Definitely. Welcome.
Great. Thank you so much, Samiksha, for coming over. Thank you, Pragya, for attending the same.
Thank you, Samiksha.
Thank you, Pragya.
Pleasure.
Virtually.
We will be meeting soon, Samiksha.
Sure. Okay.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.